During the winter, we get a little sun, partially shaded, but definitely effective as far as providing energy that we can store and use for lighting and other things. But even in the winter, our sun is being blocked by many trees. And in the summer, you can forget about it. Barely get any power in here. The battery is pretty much fully charged, and that gives me enough power to be able to run the lights and this little electric stove. This is the Harbor Freight solar panel kit I have installed at the cabin. It comes with 4 25-watt solar panels, 2 LED lights with their handy switches, the clips for the battery, and a 10 amp charge controller. The charge controller is only a 10 amp version, and that's pretty much all you would need for this kit unless you're planning to add in more solar panels to it. Initially I was going to go with the same kit for the hydro pit so I can continue my dig, but after analyzing the pricing I decided to make my own. The Harbor Freight is priced at $189.99. Now, making a direct comparison for what I get with the Harbor Freight and my kit, mine would have cost $130.94. But I was able to get 200 watts, double the wattage, for $257.17. So this is what I purchased. On Amazon, most of the time things are a little bit cheaper than eBay. But in this case, it would have cost me an additional $41.70 if I bought the same system, the same equipment through Amazon. So it's best to do your shopping. This solar system here is in comparison to a Harbor Freight, which is the other one I have. But I decided to go this way because I was getting more wattage at a better price. Now, as far as the reliability, that is yet to be confirmed. The panels ran just under $75 each, which is a good price, under $1 a watt. The wiring also is going to be much better than what I would get with the Harbor Freight. These wires are definitely a lot nicer. This is 10 gauge copper wire. Both of these two charge controllers are supposed to be MPPT, and I kind of doubt it, but this one just under $10 and this one under $25, so they're really inexpensive. The mounting brackets simply bolt on underneath the solar panels on the pre-drill holes. Connecting the solar panels is quite straightforward, it's simple. We're going with a 12-volt system, so we're going to need this Y adapter to hook them up. You can't plug them in wrong. I mean, they're male and female. Since we're going with 12-volt, we're going to use this adapter. So this is the positive line, which, as you can see, only the red plugs into that. That's what's good about getting the different color ones. Just makes it simpler. So this is the positive. This is also labeled in the back of the panel. So we will be using this Y adapter and hooking up the two positives together in this way, and the two negatives together with the Y adapter. And this is going to give us 12 volts, double the current. If we wanted to go with 24 volts, all we do is bypass this. We wouldn't use the Y adapters, and we plug in from one panel to the other, male to female, and then this would be our connection. So this would go straight to our charge controller. So this would go here and here. Now this would give us 24 volt setup. I'm going with the Y adapter with the 12 volt system because this is a budget system, so in order to keep the cost down, I'm going with one battery. So that's why I'm going with the 12 volt system. in order to go with the 24, you would have to have two 12-volt batteries. So I know this roof looks pretty sad, but I already worked all the leaks out of it. And now I don't want to spring any new ones, installing the solar panels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount a board and screw it to the same holes that I already have. So I removed some of those nails from there, and I'm going to try to line them up exactly where those are, so I don't perforate the sheet metal anymore than it already is. All right, the boards are in place, and this is just a temporary setup. The panels are mounted. I ran the wires inside this PVC. It's an old piece of PVC just to protect the wires for the meanwhile until I get it finished the way it should be. The solar system is complete. It was pretty straightforward. I just ran the wires down right here from the solar panels. They come in through here and they tie in right to, you got screw terminals where you tie them into. Now you have to wire the battery first before you hook up the solar panels, or you may damage the unit. So you hook up the battery first, then the solar panels, then your load. And there was nothing to configure. It automatically detected. It works in either 12 or 24 volt, and it's supposed to auto detect as soon as you plug in the battery for the first time. But this is the way it came right from the factory. There was nothing to do. There are a couple of configurations in there that you can change, but right off the bat, if you're going with a basic lead acid battery and you want to have this function work as an on-off switch for the load, and that's just the way it comes. There's nothing to change. So the wiring here, I wired that light up here, which is a 3-watt light bulb, and it gives plenty of light. I might go to the 6-watt for the pit, and it splits off right there and it goes down to the pit, so I'll be able to continue my dig in the dark. So our budget solar panel system is complete. Now we could add some fuses and some switches and a few other things, but if we want to stay low on a budget, this is good enough. This is comparable to what Harbor Freight has, but it's cheaper, and I believe it's going to be better. And here's our light within the pit. Now I can see what I'm doing. I'll be able to work here around the corner, because going around the corner here, it gets pretty dark in there. You don't get enough light from through here because of all this dirt blocking it. So I got a little cubby hole going here, and that was pretty dark, and now we can get back to work. Well, I made it to the other end of the house. This is the second chimney, and somebody was making a nest underneath the fireplace. That's actually the floor, the concrete floor that's in front of the fireplace. We got our solar working great, and this is something, this is going to be our next task, is to remove this from here. This is the center support to the house,